everyone. This is RTV Official. Don't forget the underscore. And this is Trap Nerd TV. And we're here with our special guest,
48th Street.
And very enthusiastic. Okay. And we're here with our co-host, of course.
It's your boy, Creative Sean. No, you know what? No, fuck, I'm not going to say it. It's Creative Sean, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, because you're not a boy.
It's all good.
That's cool. This is on the first episode. And we'd like to welcome you guys to Trap Nerd TV once again. Gang, we lit out here. So basically, our episode today is going to be about hip-hop and what does hip-hop mean to us. And I want to start off by letting 48th Street.
Alright, well, as I've had, 1 minute now to think about this fucking...
More like 14.
14 minutes to think about this question. Everything, for real, anything I think about, the voice of the youth, what's going on, and, what people think, politically or whatever, just what's happening. It's, a mirror of what's happening to the youth.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? To get super deep.
It's a mirror of hip. Okay, all right, I see that. A reflection of culture and things of that nature. Huh?
Okay, you feeling that? You want to say something? Want to put your 2 cents in it?
Y'all should already know what hip-hop means to me.
Oh, dear God.
Producer, rapper, singer, hip-hop is molding me into the person I'm trying to become.
You can sing?
I can sing my ass off,
You
dog.
think he Russ?
Go ahead, spit one right
You
now.
think he Russ, dog?
No, that's not what this is about. I'm supposed to tell you what hip-hop means to me. Shaq.
All
I
right,
stay
Russ.
over there in the engineer's corner, handle your shit over there with recording, while I do this on the air. You know what I'm saying?
Kevin,
That's
all
what
right,
we're going to do. All right. Anyway, like I was saying.
though.
All right, bet. All right, but nah, hip-hop to me, I didn't get to experience hip-hop till I was about 16. So when I discovered what hip-hop was, I was like, yo, this is the best thing on the planet, my nigga. That shit was getting high for the first time. And going back to it is a high you can never come back down from. That's what hip-hop is to me. It's a really good feeling. Ryan?
Yeah, well, with hip-hop, man, I'm from Atlanta. I'm from Decatur. And, the South has something to say. And I just enjoyed things like Outkast, and even people up north, Erykah Badu, Common, and just the culture aspect of hip-hop. Hip-hop itself, to me, is just the culture. It's just how people express themselves, how we, fought through oppression, how we got, even the blues. I say the blues would even be hip-hop, just the expression of the culture and how we all came together. And just, the universal aspect of it,
Yeah.
Everybody can use, this culture just to speak about things that they care about,
And nowadays, everybody is using hip-hop. That
Yeah.
shit is the
mean,
the number one genre in America right now. That shit-
Lil
I say-
Xan in this opioid crisis, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, now we're getting political.
No, but for real,
No, but I mean,
they really take anything that they can put a message behind and put it to some 808s and snares and boom, there you go. You in the hip hop. Or at least that's what it is today. It wasn't like that a couple decades ago, you know what I'm saying? Hip hop was hated. You play hip hop in the wrong neighborhood and the cops would be at your door saying that somebody filed a noise complaint type shit. Nowadays, they welcome that shit with open arms, you know what I'm saying?
High key, though. It was a look. If people saw you, looking and dancing to the shit, they'd, think about you before, they already, met you and stuff. And now there's, 8 different looks and shit, it's so, in with the culture.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and,
I mean, especially in, college and shit.
If you ain't listening to hip hop in college, you're doing something serious.
I mean, big booty bitch twerk parties, you know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
Some
Yeah.
Playboy cards, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I'd like to ask you guys this question. How do you feel about hip-hop in its current state, from what it's changed from to where it is now?
He already told you. Big booty bitch twerk party.
Well, man, hip hop in this state right now, that shit is, it's all over the place right now, man. You got people in hip hop that claim they rock stars. You got people in hip hop that's only gonna fuck with the old version of hip hop, boom bap. Well, not boom bap,
Illmatic.
but yeah, that type shit. You know what I'm saying? But Illmatic is time.
Hold
No,
on.
Illmatic's the best.
Illmatic's
I'm
time.
not dissing. I can't.
He saved himself on that one. I'm about to go in.
No, in front of the camera.
It was going to be the communication episode.
Preacher Dom.
But nah, hip hop. But hip hop today, though, I think so many people have used it from a standpoint of just trying to, get famous or receive clout, that it's kind of clouded the judgment of how hip hop used to be. Because when people used to do hip hop, like rapping hip hop, they used to express like raw emotion, like it'd be like hatred to the government type. Well, not hatred to the government, but like disagreement with the government, because that was back in like Ronald Reagan eras when hip hop started. So everybody had a political message back then. But these days it's like, I'm gonna do drugs with my friends and that's gonna be the end of it type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Which is cool to an aspect if you're in that phase of your life. But you got younger kids who are influenced by hip hop and they're just like, oh yeah, I want to do drugs like my favorite rapper. I want to sip lean and do Xans and shit like that. I'm just like, hey, do you, kiddo? Be careful.
Are you saying that like hip hop went from like mostly political to now this kind of party-esque?
Yeah, it went from positive to not necessarily negative, but less focus on how to build, the culture, and just more so like, I say like ignoring what's really going on. You know what I'm saying? It used to be like a direct statement to like, hey, this is how we relay the message to our people. Nowadays it's just like, we gonna do this to distract y'all from what we really need y'all to do type shit. That's like what the newer generation has brought in. But I mean, there's still some artists out here in the newer generation that have a message, like JID, Earth Gang, people like them. Anybody from Dreamville for real. They keep a message behind them. Right. But it's some really like reckless niggas.
I'm playing.
I Lil Pump.
Like Lil Pump, Tekashi 6ix9ine, niggas like that. Who trying to get into hip hop, you know what I'm saying? It's just like the wrong message.
Yeah, I think it's honestly like the eyes though too, like, cause there's a lot of underground shit. Like, there's always gonna be like people that are like going crazy like with like messages and shit. But like now it's almost like a punk scene rap mix, like especially with like 6ix9ine, bro. Like, I don't know.
That nigga is crazy.
Well, I mean, I really would put
because he's just screaming, and kids just like I've seen kids like jumping and screaming at that shit.
Like, I mean, I feel like hip hop at this point is more experimental, very much so. And I actually like that fact about it. I like the fact that this can develop and evolve and change. And I do understand that, some of the evolution of this kind of waters down a lot of the lyrical ability of it, because like if you listen to like people like X, I mean, he has one song where it's literally just fuck nigga, hey, yeah, fuck nigga, yeah. And I mean, it slaps, but you get what I'm saying. Like it's experimental, it's different, but at the same time, it also waters down the lyrical potential of what you could get out of it. With boom bap, the beats, they kind of work like you're supposed to talk on it, but with those, it's all about like emotion and expression, which that's one of the reasons I like a lot of these new artists, even though some people be like, oh, you're slipping. I mean, I like all types of music, but with this new age of hip hop, I do believe that the internet has a lot to do when it comes to with music, like with clout chasing. And some people don't even post music; they just post previews of music, then don't drop it, and then wait till like the next year, then drop like a 1 minute 53-second song, and you're just like,
what was this?
Thanks. I don't.
Ocean, no.
No,
oh my God.
I mean, he's R&B, but like. He will preview some fire, and then you get one song out of him every like 3-4 months.
Or you get Blonde.
That was amazing. I remember that day.
But it was overhyped. We was like, I was expecting Blonde to blow me out the water, and I was like, it's still great. It's still a great album. It's still a great album. Don't get me wrong, but it ain't give me the same emotion I had when I listened to Channel Orange.
True.
Actually, not even when I listened to Nostalgia Ultra, to be for real. Those are my shit, dude. But it did have a good feeling because we missed Frank. Everybody missed Frank.
High key. But yeah, I mean, even with like the new age, like being experimental, like I feel like a lot of the people who are making beats now, like it's so like business mindset. And I mean, this isn't like everyone, but I think it's like a problem that I've seen is like it's so much like around like let's just crank shit out in like 5 minutes, keep everything simple, like. We'll crank it all the way up, and then we'll just scream on it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, but you gotta think
but it's hard. I mean, it can be hard.
Turn up the volume.
Now, but you gotta think about also longevity of certain artists. You gotta kind of think about some of these artists don't really have much to say.
No, they don't.
And and you gotta think about it like you can't get always a TPAB or a GKMC out of artists who can only make such simplistic lines such as I gave her dick, she got mad. Like,
Yeah, type shit.
You
That's
know,
hard,
like-
bro. I mean,
yeah, I
shit.
mean, yeah, but you get what I'm saying. So think about the
they
fact that
could elaborate.
and they're at the top of their game. Everyone's talking about them. You know, they
I
gotta
never
keep
did, she
putting
got
the
mad.
music out just to make sure
It's
that
there.
they're still around. And, you know, they can't, like, disappear. Why do you think, like, some of these artists, I feel like some of these artists troll. They're always causing beef and always doing certain things. And they be like,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, shit
And they
like
always
that.
gonna be like, oh, I'm hacked after they start trolling. Which we all, come on now.
If you
Come
always,
on, son. We know you not hacked.
You always see though the old heads of hip hop. They'll come in and they might. I'm gonna give a decent example. Andre 3000 right now. He only give a couple verses. You know, every now and again. And once he say what he has to say, that's it. And like he'll still get the millions of plays, still making money from his old albums without even having to really, you know, drop constant projects. You know what I'm saying? That's
Mhm.
that's the longevity you was talking about. But these new artists today, I don't know, man. I can't speak. I don't know the future. I can't say what's gonna happen, you know, 10 years from now. But it's looking pretty rough because you got a new nigga that pop up every 3 months.
High key.
Yeah.
Young something, Lil something. That's
And-
always been the game, I guess.
But I
But
gotta
I
say,
think Smoke Purp's hard, bro.
really?
Shout out Smoke Purp.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
Smell Purple is hard. You
Yeah,
got
but I gotta say, like, with the thing about longevity, I guess Lauryn Hill would be a great example of that.
one album.
Just one.
One album went to jail, came back, and was still popping. Like,
Yeah, like, we're still listening to that one album. She can go perform that album and it just be like, all right, you good. Like,
here's 100K.
basically.
Like, we love you. Come back, please.
But I guess it's more about, like, what they have to say. You know, like how we go back all the way to the origins of hip hop. It's just the expression of people, not always impoverished or in poverty, but just the expression that other people can feel. I mean, everybody wants to party sometimes. Everybody wants to be lit all sometimes,
Yeah,
but
but the way they portray it, it's
they
like
be doing
they do
it all the
every
time.
day,
And not
24
everybody
hours.
gonna feel like that.
Wake
Some
up.
people want to think, some people want to love, some people want to feel, and there's a lot of artists for that. Some artists can display all those emotions in different ways, you know. So I guess get in where
But I
you fit in.
mean, if you're trying to cry, don't listen to hip hop.
Oh, at all.
You
Well,
remember
I
that
mean,
shit? You remember that shit? He's like, dude, like,
not today's hip hop at all, because it's just gonna piss you off. You're gonna be trying to sweat out some real emotions, and you just gonna want to slump a nigga.
Like,
You get real violent
came in the door, shot him in the face, like,
type shit.
exactly.
We at your door like delivery. Hey.
D-Rose, D-Rose, D-Rose.
You know what I'm saying? That's how that be happening. Shoot. In that case, then you know the people that are really coming in with messages as far as black music goes is the R&B artists at that point.
And how do you feel about the whole trap soul movement? Like I know the Bryson Tiller has an album called Trap Soul, but like the more like these R&B artists are more rapping in like harmony instead of really singing.
It makes sense because it's like they looking at hip hop artists or so-called hip hop artists. They're like, if y'all ain't gonna do it, then damn it, somebody got to do it. So might as well do it. You know, it's Drake type shit. You know what I'm saying? Shouts
Sounds
out
dope.
Drake.
Sounds dope. You know?
I just do you guys feel okay? Since we're on hip hop, I actually want to ask about the state of R&B because I've had many people argue about what the current state of R&B is because rap is becoming so big. R&B is somewhat overlooked, and there's a lot of really good R&B artists out there, but they're not really given the spotlight as much as these rap artists.
Yo.
So, like, how do you feel about the state of R&B? Do you feel like it's being watered down, dumbed down to these, like, small Chris Brown feature tracks? Where it just, and no disrespect to Chris Brown. I love Chris Brown. I'm just saying, like, you know how he's always, like, out there,
Yeah.
and it's always just, like,
Right.
I'm gonna fuck you hard. Like,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
70
No,
album song.
you know what I'm saying? Like, it's always, like, just, like, this direct stuff,
Yeah.
and it's never just like that.
People buy that shit too.
Yeah,
love
but
it.
you feel what I'm
Everybody
saying,
love
though,
it.
right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really direct. It's never about, like, the intimacy of R&B all the time. And I feel like there's a lot of artists who embody that, but it's just not given that type of, that type of light or shine.
To be for real, I feel like in America, the R&B scene definitely went pop culture. Like that shit really went pop. Like to the point where you had DJ Mustard making R&B hits
Oh.
for what, 2 years? Running the game.
With his 2 keyboard keys.
Running 2 chords.
All in the same key.
Yeah, shit.
Same keys, bro.
Running the R&B charts. Well, not running the R&B charts, running the charts with R&B artists. So it's like in America, in that case, R&B is really watered down. But you got so much potential coming out of other countries. Like the one R&B scene I've really been focused on R&B and rap, but it's not really rap. It's more grime the UK. The UK music scene, that shit on fire right now. Like R&B artists, production, rap, hip hop, all of that is like, it's something about it. It's like they hopped in the time machine collectively and was like, we gonna do rap and R&B from this standpoint. Fuck what the rest of the world doing. This how we gonna do it. And that shit is working for all of them. They're like all on the same page. It's not like one artist trying to blow up and like, yeah, fuck all these other niggas. I don't like any of them. It's like, I'm doing this. Now how can I include you in this and build upon it type shit? You know what I'm saying?
Okay, and I like how you just mentioned that about the competitiveness of the U.S. compared to other countries. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like the competitiveness is good for hip hop in America, just in America specifically?
For hip hop, yes.
Yeah, like, and then when I mean competitive, I mean even beefs, people coming at each other.
Beef thrives in hip hop. From
like
Pac and Biggie.
Yeah, like, but is it like good for hip hop though?
I mean, even in Atlanta, they said like you got to play like the rapper card, like you have to be the like bad person, right? You know what I'm saying? So like, I feel like that shit just like gets you more clout, if anything. Like
every hero needs a bad guy. So like, I don't know who was the bad guy on the Pac and Biggie situation, but more recent, Meek and Drake.
That's what I was about to say. Like,
Meek was definitely the bad guy.
It was like 3 years ago, everyone I knew was like, Meek Mill's the worst rapper I've ever heard.
First of all,
like,
before that, nobody even knew who Meek was, to be honest.
Yeah, like, I mean, he had, I was a Meek fan. I was a strong Meek fan because he brought Lil Snoop to the game. And I was like, yo, this nigga's real. And then he was like, man, Drake a bitch ass nigga because he don't write his own songs. I was like, Meek, what are you doing? Why are you doing this?
I mean, rightfully so though, right?
Common said it first.
Well, yeah, but Common actually could shut Drake up.
Come on, Sweet was fire. We're not gonna act like Sweet was hard.
Sweet was hard as fuck. So you little bitch
when he
ass
called
nigga,
Canada Dry,
you probably go in other countries and get your shit took. I was like, oh man, Common, calm down. Drake beefs with a lot of niggas, but doesn't say anything.
But then he just sends them money, bro.
Yeah,
low key, he's just like, take these stacks, like chill out. That's probably what happens, bro. He's got more than enough of that shit. He did a whole music video where he was giving away money. I mean, shit, like
almost $1 million.
God's plan.
High key.
God's plan. He's a successful artist.
Hey, go Miami, buy my shit.
I mean, I just gotta say, like, if we're gonna talk about something just specifically the Meek Drake situation, I think you're right. There should be a good guy and a bad guy situation, but I think it's better when both artists aren't necessarily, or they're kind of like ambiguous. It's like you can pick one side over the other. Mm-hmm. That's one of the things about the Tupac and Biggie beat that's so iconic because it was literally two sides of the country pitted against each other. And there wasn't like Biggie's better or Pac's better. And you can argue that, obviously. But when you're talking about like their influence on both sides of the spectrum, you can sit there and just argue all day. Exactly. And you can say that in the end, both of them dying still left a big mark on hip hop, like forever.
Never ending. Like, you still got people to this day like, oh nah, I fuck with Biggie heavier because, you know, he had the beats, you know, he had the videos and shit. No, I fuck with Pac better because Pac had the lyrics, he had the message, like, and you're not gonna change your stance. You play whatever song you want, you're not gonna change your stance. That's a dope effect to have.
And what I really love about the Meek Drake, because that's really the most recent, the biggest one, basically. Hi, Dom.
There's Nicki versus Remy.
No, we're not touching that.
There you go, touch on that.
We're not talking about that.
Well, we should definitely talk about women in hip hop. But let's kind of get to the beef, then we're just going to
episode 13.
Okay,
all right, bet.
Later.
Episode 13, bet. All right, so for this one, for Meek and Drake, I think, first of all, I think the beef was just handled the way it was because Meek just didn't handle it correctly. Like, Drake had all the time. Drake was sitting there in the quiet, like, he had all the connections. And at this point, once he dropped, and remember, he dropped Charged Up. Yep. And I've seen an interview where he was talking about how he wasn't even prepared. Like, he just dropped Charged Up just to see what Meek had. And when Meek didn't really respond, he just said, oh, you're not ready. All right. Then he just started writing back to back. And that's what really got me really messed up because when he made back to back, like, he made a hit. That was the problem.
He made a hit so good that the person he wrote it about said he was fucking.
Like they really.
That's the wild.
Like
shit.
They were really playing it in the club. Will Meek was in the club. Like it was like that was an L for the ages. And then Meek just couldn't get a break after that. Nope. Like he got hit with like a cork at a music video. He slipped off some steps, leaving his. DJ Khaled shook a champagne bottle in the music video. Shot a cork, hit Meek in his face, and it was just like, bruh. How you just gonna take an L from back to back, and you gonna take another L back to back? Like you can't live out the lyrics. Then he slid outside of his mom's place on camera, and it got blasted everywhere.
Oh shit! I remember that.
I mean, But hey, I mean, Philly got a championship. They had to sacrifice Meek a little bit.
Fly birds.
They had to put Meek on there. They had to sacrifice Meek in jail to get that dub. But you know,
that really shows. But that really shows like the aspect of how a bad guy. Well, in this case, not even a bad guy. He's like a bad guy. You know what I'm saying? Like he's bad at being a bad guy. And then you got
oh no.
Then you got Drake, who hasn't stopped since. Like,
and he had a lot of star power before then, and his relationship with Nicki even like made it more heavier. You know, more heavier. I mean, it made it heavier. That grammar.
But Drake had like the whole pop aspect going with it. You know what I'm saying? Like he already had like everyone was fucking with Drake. Like not everyone fucks with Meek. I mean, still like I'm not trying to bring sex into it, but like I know way more girls that fuck with Drake than ever I fuck with Meek.
He played the ethos.
Exactly.
That's
I mean, but you know, Meek has always been like an aggressive battle rapper from Philly. I mean, even since Dream Chasers one, he's always been this aggressive guy from the streets. And I don't think a lot of, you know, of Drake's pop demographic could have worked with that, with them being in the suburbs.
But when you shut somebody
14 and blonde haired.
But when you shut somebody up like that, that's the
fucking
that's the wild
Degrassi. Fucking shit.
I was in a wheelchair.
He didn't. Okay, Meek did not make one Jimmy wheelchair line, and that kind of disappointed me.
Killed him.
He could have really went in on the Jerry curls, on the basketball, in the court.
Bruh.
Like,
I mean, he literally went in on him on like you don't write your own lyrics, like the one job that you're supposed to do.
Yeah,
like,
but he said it on social
like,
media rather than putting it in a song.
Sure.
And then how did Quentin Miller not get any clout from this at all?
He didn't care.
I felt so disappointed.
He was just chilling. Songwriters always do that.
Bro, because they make so much fucking money, dude.
Exactly.
They're probably making more than the fucking album, like honestly, like.
All right, well, it was great talking with you guys about hip hop. This is a good information. Free Meek Mill. We love you, Drake. You should come on the show. And this has been Trap Nerd TV, our TV official. Don't forget the _ please. Creative Sean, 48th Street.
Yep.
That's it,
48,
right?
yeah.
48th Street. All right,
48
cool.
THST.
48th Street. Yeah. Follow him, please. And this has been Trap Nerd TV. We out. Gang, gang.